Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make butter cookies with a super simple and delicious chocolate glaze. They're so addictive and they're so easy. I mean, the ingredients are probably in your pantry and fridge right now, which are just some all-purpose plain flour, a pinch of salt, some plain old sugar, an egg, some unsalted butter at room temperature, and some vanilla extract. These are the ingredients to make the actual cookies, and then in a little bit, I will show you the ingredients to make the little glaze. So good. So the first thing you want to do is get your oven preheated to 375. The second thing you want to do is take a couple baking sheets and line them with some parchment paper. So I'm going to make this in my standing mixer, make life a little easier. Now, I'm going to start by creaming together the butter and sugar. It's pretty standard, I think the standard steps. Butter and sugar first, cream it together. I'm going to add in the egg and vanilla, and I'm just going to mix that in until it's nice and combined. I'm going to actually get to speed up a little bit. Scrape the sides, especially since this is such a big mixer, just a big bowl, and the batter isn't, huge, so not a lot of it, I should say. So as that mixes up, I'm just going to clear up a little bit, and then I'm going to add in, actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm going to mix together the salt with the flour. Add in my dry ingredients. Do it on low speed, otherwise you're going to get covered in flour. I'm going to just let that mix in for about 30 seconds or until all the dry ingredients are incorporated, and then I'll show you the next step. I've just dumped my dough on a floured surface, and now I'm just going to take my rolling pin, and you just constantly want to keep this dough moving because it is a really soft dough, but you want a nice buttery cookie. So keep it moving so it doesn't stick, and roll this out to about between 1/8 and 1/4 inch thick. I'm just going to take a round cookie cutter, and I'm just going to cut out my cookies. It's a really forgiving dough, and you can obviously cut the shapes however your heart desires. I'm just doing simple little circles. Here they are. Now I'm just going to put my cookies into the oven. You want to make sure that the oven rack is positioned in the center of the oven, just so that it doesn't burn. If it's too low to the oven, it'll burn. If it's too high up, it'll burn as well. So I'm going to put these in for about 13 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown, and I'm going to probably flip or rotate the sheet pan halfway through just to get them nice and evenly colored, because I want that, lightly golden brown color. My cookies baked for about 13 minutes, and I've let them cool completely, and now it's time to make the little glaze to put on top, or the glaze or the frosting, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's not really frosting. It's a little too runny to be a frosting, but it's not so runny that it's like a thin glaze. It's like something in between. The ingredients for that are just some confectioner sugar, unsweetened cocoa powder, and some milk. Now I'm going to just do this in a bowl with a spatula. I think a spatula just works better, but you can use a whisk if you want to. I'm just mixing the cocoa powder and the sugar together, and I'm going to add in some milk. Now I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons, and then I'll see what the consistency is like. If it's too thick, I'll add in a little bit more, but don't start with too much off the bat because it can get very runny very quickly. So just going to mix in my 2 tablespoons and see how I'm looking. That looks perfect. I ended up using about 3 tablespoons of milk. Now this will harden as it sits on the cookies, and that's what you want. I'm just taking a little tiny teaspoon, and I'm putting it on the cookie, and then just kind of spreading it with the back, just like that. I like to just cover the center but leave some of the edges exposed. I just think it looks nicer. But to each his own. Just gonna glaze all my cookies, and I'll show you what they look like once they're all done. Last one. Now the glaze will set as they sit. I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to eat one right now. And with the remaining dough, I just popped it into the freezer. I always like to do that when it comes to cookies because it's great to have cookie dough in hand for whenever you need it. And what I do is I pop it in the microwave for about 15 to 30 seconds, and just until it's thawed and like regular texture like it normally would be. And then just roll them out and make fresh cookies. Sharing is caring. I like to make fresh cookies anytime I have company or bringing them over to somebody's house. I'm going to taste one of these bad boys. I love the cookie. It's really buttery, yet subtle. The cookie itself is not too sweet, but the glaze is nice and sweet, so it's a great balance. So delicious. So simple, so easy. I'm sure you already have the ingredients on hand to do them, so go to www.laureninthekitchen.com to get the recipe, make them, let me know how you like them, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.